no! Fuck whoever put this in my fucking list of shit to go over. So, this guy is fucking annoying. This is a text-to-speech YouTuber. So you already know that they suck. They're a text-to-speech Roblox YouTuber. Their entire channel is literally just fucking canceling, like, people for saying, like, the F word or something like that, right? So, I was talking with Lyrics, and I was like, you should do a video on why this person fucking sucks. And after I said that, right, somebody linked this to me. They were like, this is a good reason why they suck. Stop the hate against furries. Had to reword because people thought I was attacking them. By the way, like and retweet. So they wrote a fucking manifesto about furries. What is this? And why they deserve not to get hate. Tom sent this to you, didn't he? No. The hate towards furries. I feel like we need a Colossal's crazy reading of this. I don't even know if this is like funny or something. I guess I'll read a little bit of it and see if it's like funny. This will be an extended twit longer going over in detail why the hate and distaste often shared and attributed to furry communities stem from misunderstandings and is genuinely unneeded and illogical. I'll go and highlight many points that can be argued for both sides, but I myself would like to highlight my stance on it as well. And I ultimately believe that if one is trying to present the community as ultimately pathetic and cringe, attacking them for your own opinion isn't a sufficient way of setting out and distributing your beliefs. You don't look professional doing so, and you hypocritically look just as embarrassing. Keep in mind, by the way, this guy's whole career is making text-to-speech Roblox videos where he reports on people saying fag on Discord. That's what he does, right? So if you want to say my job is pathetic, just reading tweets and laughing at it, right? This guy, their career is crying about people saying fag on Discord. That's their existence. If you still dislike them after reading this entirety of this twit longer, you are 100% free to. I certainly know if you have an opinion regarding this built and chiseled in stone, but if I could clear up very poisonous and fabricated claims to a large portion of people who unironically believe them, then the point of this post has ultimately been fulfilled. Good Lord. This is the most terminally ill post I think I've ever fucking seen. Not even just terminally online. This is just terminal illness, period. Let me just tackle one of the points people like to grasp on. The prevalence of pedophiles, groomers, and zoophiles in the furry community, and this is something that is undeniable. There are pedophiles saturated in every community. It is terrible in communities with a large portion of children, such as Five Nights at Freddy's and Roblox, and I know this firsthand. Wait, what? What? Huh? Not a good start for your defense piece there, buddy. Okay. Fuck me. Look, guys, I know, okay, in my community, there are a lot of pedophiles, okay, and a lot of children. I know there's also a lot of children in other communities that I'm in, and I know there's also a lot of pedophiles in there, but who's taking this seriously? And notice that he says he knows this firsthand. What the fuck does that mean? In 2021 alone, there have been a plethora of immoral individuals I can name. Kelogish, Fave, Leox, Crawley, Drew Plays. But it is without a doubt, too, that the furry community also has a considerable large problem, and they are aware of it, too. I've seen, well, yeah, probably because they're the problem. Not all. Of course, not all. I've seen the community. They despise and detest them as much as the next person because it is these zoophiles and pedophiles that inflict a detrimental image upon their own community. It is these people who make the rest look equally as bad, and the generalization of the entire community due to these select people is what acts as a further detriment. The furry community aren't all pedophiles. It's fucking stupid to even state this because it would be common knowledge. This is like assuming the entire Roblox community are pedophiles due to certain bad apples. And what? People justify the scrutiny towards the whole community because of their cringe or embarrassing hobbies, something that they do as a pastime. Just because you have an opposing mindset does not validate one's actions to shit on the community and label them all as creeps. There are good, nice, mature people in the community, as there are in every other. So what benefit does one shitting on people they have never interacted with as some self-fulfillment gains some internet support from others who feed that ill mentality? Dude, every time I read like something on the internet where people are like, why would you shit on somebody? Shitting on people is bad. Are you insecure? Is that why you shit on people? No, it's just because it's funny. People try to put so much like deep thought into like, why would somebody possibly be mean on the internet? I don't know. Maybe because it's fun. Did you ever consider that? It's kind of just fun just to make fun of weirdos, you know? Is it right? I don't know. I don't think people are doing it because it's right or it's wrong. I think people just do it because it's fun. And I mean, if you're gonna, like, look, there's all these people that argue about, like, the definition of what a furry is. Like, a lot of people think furries all want to fuck animals. Other people are like, well, no, some furries just want to dress up as animals. And then other people are like, well, no, they just actually think they're animals, or they want to pretend like they are, or something like that. Like, everybody has, like, these definitions of what a fucking furry is. Here's my baseline, right? Regardless of whether you're actually fucking animals or not, okay? It's still weird, objectively speaking. I mean, if you think you're an animal, if you pretend to be an animal, it's kind of strange. You know? And I hear that, like, the justification for it, people will always be like, well, when you were a kid, I mean, didn't you pretend to be an animal? Yeah, when I was like 5, maybe I pretended to be a dog for like 2 seconds because I'm a fucking retarded 5-year-old, but I'm 20 now, right? And I don't do that anymore because I fucking grew up, right? Like, there's mature people in the furry fan. Okay, whatever. All right. No matter your stance, or even if you still disagree, that does not make you right. That either means you're simply deluded, or or you're ignorantly misinformed, and makes you yourself look more immature than the community you're so desperately bashing for being the same thing. I'm sorry, man, but some guys slinging slurs on the internet versus somebody that's dressing up as animals in their like 20s. I don't know, dude. I feel like the person that's dressing up as animals is still the one that is objectively like the more strange party, right? Am I wrong? I don't know. Okay. It might be cringy to people, sure. No doubt that others perceive it that way. I'm not specifying. I'm not specifying that you should change the mentality. I'm specifying you should change your mentality, generalizing the entire community as immoral degenerates preying on children and animals for their own sexual gratification. Many join the community in a sense to spread and distribute their artistic talent. It doesn't take you 2 seconds to see or understand that to a degree, but another claim is that these people are sex-driven freaks. You're talking about a community that is primarily made of younger teens, which is why filthy pedophiles fester in the community too. And they're going to be cringe and horny as other people are too. What are you going to negate that happens in any other community? Because if you hold that mentality, then you're grandly misinformed. You cannot be unironically serious if you're trying to pin the furry community as anything worse than the Roblox community. I've been in the Roblox community long enough to see what true shit happens there. You're negating games like Meep City condo games, the Odors and RP games. Sure, old topic, but alliance and support. Okay, nuclear take, before we get into any of this Roblox autism here. I think that the Roblox community is probably just as bad as the furry community for the same fucking reason, right? Again, maybe it's hypocritical because I like playing Nintendo games. You know, I like playing the Bing Bing Wahoo and shit like that, right? But like, I'm sorry, man. When you're like somebody in your 20s, and it's not just that you play Roblox, but you're like deeply invested into the community. You know, like it's like your entire fucking personality is this fucking kid's game on the computer, this web game you played. You're probably just as bad as a furry. It'd be like if I lived my entire life like fucking, you know, thinking that I was Link from Legend of Zelda. You know, I'd still be a degenerate, you know, that because that's weird.
Out as trans?
Good lord. What do you gain out of trying to push the motive that the Roblox community is better than any other? No, I think they're all bad. You misunderstand me. I think they're all bad. Okay? When you know what isn't correct. But one thing which I typically agree on is that there's a huge fucking problem with pedophiles and zoophiles saturated in the community. The very people who are nitpicked out of the community and are examined as outsiders who push that motive that many others are like this. So let me get this straight, all right? in your grand old huff piece about how furries are misunderstood and demonized unfairly, right? You're telling me that even you acknowledge, as somebody who is a proud, I guess, are you a furry? I mean, the person who wrote this has to be a furry, right? So you're a proud member of the furry community. You're a proud member of the Roblox community, right? And you're telling me that there's pedophiles all over the place. There's pedophiles everywhere. Doesn't that ring a few alarm bells? You know? Doesn't that make you think that maybe you don't want to be a part of this?
And I've been playing Earthbound.
I'm just saying, right? Like, if you're in a community where there is an incessant and constant pedophile problem, perhaps there should be like a motive to not associate with it anymore, right? I don't know.
Joe Mega funded $1.99. Adult Roblox community equals Lego bronies.
Basically. Let's see. The community is so much larger with those who aren't pedophiles. How can one deny that? How can one even argue that the community consists of just pedophiles and zoophiles? The community contains many young teens, everyone knows this, and when everybody knows, the pedophiles know it too. Hence, like the parasites they are, they leech onto the community, picking the vulnerable people they can sexually manipulate and use to feed their growing and insatiable sexual desires. This year alone, 2 pedophiles were exposed. My Bucket and Lambda Cruz, 2 furry pedophiles, who were also in the Roblox community. These 2 communities aren't entirely distant for many reasons. They are interconnected and linked due to the games on the site and the player base. My Bucket and Lambda are genuinely some of the most disgusting, vile, wretched people I've ever seen. If you wish to learn more about what I did, a YouTuber named Jax made videos going over in detail what they did, but these people in question also leashed on the Roblox community to gain victims from there too. It just isn't restricted to the furry community. Now, zoophiles, another cancer in the furry community, no doubt about it, deplorable human beings, people in the furry community too, share the same mentality that zoophiles are the scum of the earth. A zoophile is someone who holds a sexual attraction to an animal which cannot consent. And of course, in a community where people express their individuality in forms of personas, maybe cringe for a few, but ultimately harmless, the zoophiles have branched themselves in the heart of the community and used it to justify their sick means and mentalities. Again, for clarification, not all furries are pedophiles, racists, homophobes, Nazis, or fucking zoophiles. Okay, I don't know why you had to clarify racism and homophobia and Nazis. Like, we're not talking about that. We're talking about sexual degeneracy. You know, like, I don't know where politics came into this, but okay. Zoophiles are hated in the community. Many members of the community voice their opinion against them because not only does it make them sick, but it fucks over the entire community's reputation because people generalize them all as such because they never see a good furry get publicized. Because there's always a furry being exposed as a pedo or groomer or a zoophile. You know, there was actually a quote-unquote, you know, good furry that got a lot of good press, right? That was Kiro the Wolf. And we all know what happened to that guy, right? Remember when Kiro the Wolf got promoted by Shane Dawson? And all these YouTubers were making videos talking about how misunderstood the furry community is and how, you know, their example of a good, innocent, just fun-loving furry was Kiro the Wolf. And then a few years later, the Mr. Medicare video came out, and then everybody went into their deep dives and shit like that, right? Do you guys remember that? I mean, again, I agree, yeah, sure. Not all of them are pedophiles or zoophiles. Like, yeah, sure, nobody said that, right? No, nobody's actually making this argument. But what I am saying is, like, you're saying, like, why don't good furries ever get attention? Maybe because the one time the spotlight was shown on a quote-unquote good furry, it ended up coming out years later that not only were they not a good furry, they were actually a very, 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 very bad individual. I don't know. Maybe it's some food for thought there. Just saying. What else do we got here? People will engage in more negative views and situations than good. Take it from me, a fucking Roblox drama YouTuber. Cringe. Good members of the community exist. I'm very vocal about pedophiles. I have chased Fave down for 8 months and many others. If I truly saw this community as a lost cause, I would have been making a huge video on Twitlonger expressing my concerns rather than my defense for them. Also, I would have gone around blocking people who identify as one and generalizing them all as sex-craved addicts or worse. Wait, what? So you're saying you're not doing that? I'm confused. But I'm sorry, calling just the furry community sex-driven addicts is fucking stupid when there are people in every community. Do you think that is a defense? No, it's also a logical fact. Ultimately, everything I have stated can be perceived as logical information. Stop bashing these people for a hobby and preference they have. Okay. So this guy's saying basically, right, like, stop calling my community sex-driven, deranged maniacs who fuck kids. However, there are also a lot of those in the community, and I would be the first to know. But stop calling my community like a bunch of degenerates. However, there's a lot of degenerates that I know about that I personally exposed.
Funded $7.88. Cheers from Canada. It's
Yo, shout out.
Crap up here with Supreme Leader Trudeau, so time to enjoy some stupid internet drama.
Hey man, there's no better way to relax than some stupid internet drama. Trust me, I would know. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Also, this Twitlonger is written like shit. Like the wording, the grammar, the capitalization, like this is written like for a guy whose YouTube channel is literally like a TTS channel, I would think he'd be a little bit better at writing, you know? Because he has to write it out in his little TTS bot because he doesn't actually speak. Now, regarding fursuits, lol, I don't see anything wrong with it necessarily. Maybe a bit cringe at most, but a reason to shit on the community for it? No. I've seen perfectly logical people state the gross part of it has louder voices which draw more attention when in reality most of them are laid back, chill, or really nice. You can still dislike them, but this point is to clear up the poisonous misinformation spread about them. What misinformation? People just call it cringe. You acknowledge that it's cringe. All you're saying is like, well, I mean, a lot of people that wear fursuits are really nice. Okay. I know this post may cause World War III, so bring it on. This is... Why does this sound like a tipster tweet? I know I'm about to cause World War III. Bring it on, homie. Lol. This is my opinion, also cited by facts and logical information. What do you mean? It's just your opinion, dude. You've presented no facts. The only facts that you presented go against your own argument. Like naming every pedophile that's been caught in the most recent 8 months. Also, in case this is a spark to set off a war in the quote tweets, don't go attacking people for their stance, as I won't either, unless it's genuinely fucking atrocious. I find the fact that a few members have to be forced to depart from their hobbies on the internet or pass time by being bullied for being a furry to be deplorable. What good would attacking and shitting on a person due to their personal preference get you? At most, maybe some validation from others, which will last for minutes at most. Would you feel content then? It's the internet, sure. It's going to happen. What also is going to happen is people with opposing mindsets. And it seems I have one opposing mindset which challenges a hive mind of furry bad because they're pedophiles. Okay. It's always the biggest self-projection whenever people are like, why would you be mean on the internet? Are you just insecure? And do you just want approval from other people? I mean, ironically, the people that like get upset at being made fun of on the internet, they're the insecure ones who want validation, who aren't getting that validation. Instead of getting validation, they're getting a bunch of people shitting on them for wearing an animal costume when they're 25 years old. Or playing a fucking child's video game and making that their entire personality. You know, these are the people that need the fucking validation, quote unquote. These are the people that need, these are the people with the insecurity. It's not the guy making fun of you. It's you. If you truly want to act like this, then don't give a fuck when people call it out or say that it's weird. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, you're asking, why would somebody ever make fun of me? I don't know. Maybe because at the end of the day, it's just human fucking nature. All right? And you can say whether it's right or it's wrong, but like, that's just human nature. If you do something abnormal, people will laugh at it. All right? If you're going to openly do something abnormal that you know is strange and different, then don't be surprised when people fucking goof on it or crack some jokes, you know? I mean, everything we do at the end of the day is liable to get you made fun of. Even just me being a fucking YouTuber or just being a fucking streamer. You think when I tell normal people what I do for a living, that they instantly respect it? Some people do. Some people think it's cool, right? Other people are like, that's kind of weird. Because you as a streamer, you don't do anything for society. You're not building buildings. You're not saving lives. You're not researching cures for anything. You're not fucking, a web developer. You're not coding. You're not fucking doing anything. You're not, you're not adding to society. You're sitting on your fucking ass reading tweets. Okay, sure. That's your opinion of my job. Fuck it. I do have an abnormal job. I don't care. Interested to see what others have to say. Hope people can be civilized, although this is Twitter, and more likely this tweet will only branch in the Roblox community at most. Oh yeah, well, it didn't branch into the Roblox community. It branched into my community now, bitch. All right, I'm stepping in. I'm forcefully inserting myself. I'm forcefully penetrating myself into this fucking community to shit all over it, okay? That's what I'm doing here. I'm on the spectrum, I'm at about a 97 right now, okay? What is this? Disclaimer. I'm not calling anybody out directly, just the hive mind and total generalization of a community that has ultimately been labeled for its degeneracy due to certain individuals rather than for the greater portion of non-offenders. The Roblox community is practically a house of cards, as is any other. The actions of a select few individuals being exposed won't express... Why are we talking about the Roblox community as if it's some sort of like legion, or it's like some like army, or it's like a special forces unit, or it's a fucking country of people, or it's like a fucking race? What the fuck is this? It's a you're a bunch of fucking gay nerds that jerk each other off and play Roblox all day and make it your entire fucking personality. All right? You're a bunch of weirdos. You're not some specialized legion of people. You're not some like specialized group or some secret social club. You're a bunch of fucking losers. What do you mean the Roblox community? What the fuck is the Roblox community? Who are these people? It is the distribution of misinformation to a large portion of outside members that will result in the fall and failure of one due to constant scrutiny and harassment from fans, who know no better than to research themselves into the given topic, and the question and legitimacy of the information they are given about such. Every community has sinful people saturated inside of it. It seems the furry community had these people publicized immensely to the point where people have the interpretation that everybody who identifies as a member is one themselves. You think the self-admission of oneself being in a community ultimately dictates one's personality? Illogical as fuck. When I have exposed discussing members of the Roblox community in the past, you know what comments I receive? I have lost hope in the Roblox community. Or, this community is getting worse and worse. No two communities are entirely different when it comes to human mentalities, so the alienation of those who characterize themselves as anthropomorphic animals as a form of individualism, as cringe as it may be to you, isn't a one-way ticket to make it illogical for you to shit on them. And as I said before, people are 100% going to keep doing it, but that doesn't mean they're right, and any furry who turns out to be a zoophile, racist, pedo, xenophobe, homophobic, transphobe, Nazi, etc., you're also scum, and the worst type I could even illustrate.